Hi, I'm Dr. Ray Zeiss. I'm sitting for an interview with Madeline Daisy Bank. I grew up on the south side of Chicago called Beverly Hills. And my dad was a physician at Little Company Mary Hospital, and he was also head physician at U.S. Steel in Southworks. I had two uncles that were dentists, two uncles that were physicians. So I thought everybody was a doctor. So when I was about 16, I decided, yep, I'm going to become a doctor. What war was I a doctor in?
Yeah.
Vietnam War, 1972 to 1974. Carswell Air Force Base in Texas. In the Vietnam War, doctors finished their internship and they either went straight to Vietnam or they got deferred for their fellowship, that is extra training. And so I won the lottery in the Berry program, and I stayed at Northwestern for my fellowship for allergy immunology from 1972 to 74. I had excellent training at Northwestern in internal medicine. I took my junior rotation in medical school at Cook County Hospital. We treated a lot of people with alcoholic problems, including bleeding. The first month I was at Carswell, I had a very well-known patient, a woman on the base, and she started bleeding from her stomach. And I was the only one who knew how to stop it. From that month on, I had a good reputation on the base. So when I got to the Air Force, I thought I would be taking care of pilots, but I saw a lot of retirees. I saw a lot of dependents of the families on the base, a lot of children. All of the pilots and their support crews were off base in Guam. So it was like I never left Northwestern Allergy Clinic. I actually had two publications as a senior in college, and I presented at the American Chemical Society. I discovered that workers in the chemical industry could become allergic to the chemicals they worked with, just as if they had ragweed or they had pollen allergy. But they were allergic to the chemicals they were actually manufacturing. They also developed life-threatening pneumonia due to the chemicals they inhaled. And I was able to work that out and find out. They always thought that the chemical pneumonia was just due to the chemical itself. And I found out it was the body's response to the chemical. The body actually attacked their lung. A few of them had to be hospitalized and treated for pneumonia. Not with antibiotics, but with prednisone. I also volunteered to take a research quarter. Did research work in the clinical labs. Ended my career as chief of staff for the Western Veterans Hospital, Lakeside VA. I think taking care of veterans for over 20 years was something I'm very proud of. And when I retired, I volunteered at the Jesse Brown VA in Chicago for 20 years as a volunteer physician. I just love taking care of veteran patients. I won a major award in the VA called the Clinical Investigator Award. So because of my discoveries, I won a VA award that allowed me to do research for 4 years. And before I knew it, I was head of research for the VA Lakeside Medical Center. I eventually became chief of staff. So I helped run a major Veterans Administration hospital affiliated with Northwestern University for 8 years. When they found out I was leaving the VA and retiring, they said, "Oh no, you can't leave." I found out I could be a volunteer physician. I could actually come down once a week and help run the allergy clinic. I wasn't the boss, I wasn't the manager. I just was a physician and showed up. I could continue taking care of veteran patients. When I retired, my wife and I got to do volunteer work in Africa. We went to Zambia and we went to refugee camps and helped people in refugee camps. And I did the medical thing, and my wife Joyce, she did the teaching. She taught the kids. In our church, we had a family that had done missionary work in Angola, but because of a big civil war in Africa, they all fled Angola to Zambia, to UN refugee camps. So we were able to bring medicine in, and we were able to bring teaching books and visit the people in the camp. We followed them for years, and we followed them after the Civil War came to an end. We were able to see that they came back to Angola, and we helped an organization called Rise International. The Rise International built 191 schools and has 140,000 kids in school in Angola. And it all started with one visit to a refugee camp in 2000. I also became a member of Rotary when I retired, and I was able to do several Rotary projects in Africa. One was to help set up an AIDS clinic in Zambia, and the other one was to bring medical supplies to a mission hospital. And we're still involved in that project. We hope to send a 40-foot container of medical supplies in September. So I had a marvelous, varied career. Well, when I was a freshman in medical school at Northwestern, my roommate said, we're going to go on a canoe trip up to Ely, Minnesota, and we're going to go to the Canadian boundary waters. And so we got up there kind of late in the afternoon, and we didn't check in at the ranger station on this huge lake. And we docked on an island at night. There was a bear on the island. And he raided our pack every night, even though we had it tied up with a rope, suspended by another small rope. And he'd just lean out and hit that pack and break it open. And believe it or not, we were rescued by, we also lost our canoe, trying to shoot a rapid next to the island. And we couldn't get off the island. And we were rescued by the Kentucky Air National Guard. We couldn't believe it. We looked out one morning and there was 3 aluminum motorboats coming right for us. And we said, where are you guys from? And they said, we're from the Kentucky Air National Guard and we're fishing. So that's the story I tell over and over. And how we chased the bear off the island. So we had a can of Raid.
Oh.
And we wrapped bacon around that can, and we brought it up the hill where the bear was raiding us, and we put it on a rock at dusk, and that bear came over, and he chomped down on that can, and it blew up in his mouth.
Yeah.
We never saw that bear again. For young people who may see this, take every opportunity in college you can. I took a senior elective at Northwestern called Independent Study in Biology, and I did research in a laboratory of Dr. Gilbert, and I learned a lot of good techniques.
Mm-hmm.